Here we go. Here we go. Let's take it from the top, sir. All right.
Okay,
Let
I have to I have to move a little quicker because I got mad. I got so much stuff that I
all
got to
right. We're
get
gonna
done. I'm
slide
so
into
sorry,
this. All
bro.
right. So let's go back to you said you came up in Brooklyn. You was doing battling. Who are some of the influences in your neighborhood or industry guys that were influential to you? Shout out to Shaq. He just hopped in here. Your man's and them.
What's up, Shaq? Also got to say what's up to little Sean who's in there too. Real quick. Those are my peoples, my family. Um, for people and Big Said too, my boy Big Said. For me, growing up in East Flatbush, Brooklyn, I was always seeing Chubb Rock. I was always seeing Howie T, Special Ed, Little Sean, and these people in my neighborhood. And those are the ones that actually, um, fuel the fire for me. You know what I'm saying? Because it was more so about me, know, being inspired. So me seeing people like this in my neighborhood all the time was just like, you know, it was a beautiful thing. I think for me, when it came to Little Sean, he lived next door to my cousin. So for me to actually look at TV and see somebody that I actually
Mm-hmm.
grew up next to, I think when it really hit home for me, because I was more so like, okay, if these are the if these are my influences that lived around me, you know what I'm saying? That was a beautiful thing because it's like from here on, if he could do it, I could do it. You know what I mean? So I had the right type of people in the neighborhood to really push me to do that because it wasn't like he was one of those dudes that had a record out and he wasn't still moving around. I remember he came to, I want to say it was either high school or junior high school dance, and I think Clark Kent was playing at that dance, and he walked in, and everybody just got silent because of who he was, and he had that heartbreak, hotel record out, that was doing his numbers back then. And for me, I was just like, yo, that's like, yeah, I know him. So you know what I'm saying. From then, that was my push, and he's one of the people I could actually say that, what I'm saying. He lit that fire underneath me. That's why can't too many people hold no candle to your boy. I'm not even saying that. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people really can't hold that candle to your boy because I actually grew up around some of the tightest MCs. You get me, especially when it came to energy and being from Flatbush. Like you can't touch
So
me when it comes to that stuff. I'm very humble at that though. I
uh,
really do keep it humble about that. But never see nobody talk no mic thing to me like, yo, Chip, I want to battle, and then because they know better. But I think this time around with all the stuff that I'm about to drop, it's not gonna be right for nobody. So I just figured let me get that off
hey,
my
I
chest so you don't be
appreciate
feeling.
that because iron
You
sharpens iron. Like you ain't gonna just step into the fire unless you prepare for it.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm definitely um at the point in time in my life where I think that the records that I'm about to release is going to set a different tone in New York City. You get me? Because first and foremost, a lot of people are not
Okay.
going to believe that it's coming from me, right? Not going to believe that it's coming from me, and it's about time that somebody steps up and shows people what true creativity is. Right now we're just bombarded with a lot of music, but before we had to be able we were groomed to put out a
Mm-hmm.
specific type of song or whatever, and that to come back, that whole A&R and aspect of music needs to come back because we don't have it now. It's just you record your shit in the bathroom, you throw it up on the internet, and you're a star. But then people wonder why this person can't perform or they can't come up with another record because they weren't groomed as such to
Gotcha.
do those things. You get me? So artists that was groomed as such to do those things by the best. So when I drop these records, I want people to understand it's over. You get me? It's over. Be about what group I've been into or whatever. It's gonna be about, yo, you gotta listen to the level of creativity that this boy has, moving forward. And I thank God that a lot of different companies are getting in touch with me, but I really don't want to partner up with these companies because of what they're offering. sometimes, and it's hurtful to understand that, being in the industry as long as I've been in the industry, the type of stuff that they're trying to the type of stuff they figured that I
This
would
is
commit to is hurtful. You get me? And I'm a grown ass man with a family that, I have to take care of. So, if you don't come right, don't come at all. But there's a lot of surprises coming, man.
what
So
what
yeah, that's what it is
what
going
would you say
forward.
did you have like any fears about moving forward with this, or any reservations about anything as far as your new project?
I don't believe in fear. Fear is a myth. Fear is
Okay,
a
okay.
disease. I don't believe in that.
So you just like, this is what I do, and this is what I'm going to do. Now, how do you feel
Fear,
about? Because I know you're talking
fear.
about like New York and whatnot. How do you feel about New York kind of losing its identity a little bit when it comes to the hip hop scene?
First and foremost, New York did not lose its identity. New York succumbed to business when it came to music. We never lost the identity. And I think when business stepped in the place of creativity is when uh, business dictated what New York was supposed to sound like, not New York. So because it's business, we had to follow the trends. But I think right now, New York is getting back to what New York is known for. Shout out to Janae, my sister. Um, uh, Renee, shout out to her. Love you big time, sis. But again, yes, New York, New York succumbed to the business, but I think right now is when you're going to hear a bunch of. It's a different type of energy in New York right now. You know what I'm saying? Since radio is changing and certain records are being accepted, so right now it's more so about the artist. If you really run it, you just got to go out there and get it. So that's where I'm at right now, and I thank radio for accepting the records that that I'm buzzing up. I got records at WBLS 105 and Hot 97. And right now I'm just making sure I'm picking the right records to picking the right records for the album. I'm just letting go records. You know what I'm saying? I gotta shout out Sean again if he's on here, because I've been in writing mode trying to finish these two songs that he gave. But I think that for me, I just don't want to. I just want to make sure that those are some tough records. You get me? Records got to be tough. It can't be no fly by night nothing. You know what I'm saying? Because my thing is, it's a childhood dream for me to even be able to get tracks from that guy. You know what I'm saying? And for me to sit down and conjure up what I'm conjuring. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'm on it. I'm on everything. You know what I'm saying? I'm on everything. All those records that everybody sent me that you hear me jumping on, that's me finishing them up back to back to back to back and booking time. And I'm not even asking anybody for the money to book the time. We're just booking the time and I'm just running, just making sure I just murder these shits and just give them out. I don't got no time to play with nobody right
Now,
now, to be honest.
now let me
Just
ask you this: like during your downtime, what has been your motivation to keep you going?
prayer. Prayer has been my motivation. My family has been my motivation. And understanding that, you know, we are now the ancestors in this particular point in time. Before, we used to watch our parents work hard and do whatever, but some of our parents are transitioning. We're in those roles as parents and as the head of the family. So I think that has kept me super focused on achieving my goals. Even with the math program being in schools and having my curriculum in colleges and in middle schools or whatever. It's just me just spreading my wings when it comes to, I know everybody knows that I can do music, but there's other things that I touched on too. And that has basically been my motivation, man. But the majority of it comes from prayer.
Okay, now
Can't
now
front.
tell us about this curriculum that you have, because I'm sure a lot of people aren't aware of or really hip to what you got going on as far as that.
I have a curriculum in schools called Math, Music Appreciation, Art, Time, and Healing. We're relaunching again and starting in March, and we're relaunching in 4 schools in Harlem and 4 schools in Far Rockaway, and we're actually right now looking for our own building to open up our own school. So that's been the focus, and a lot of people think that since I took some time away from music that I wasn't working on something, but you know, at the end of the day, everything is bigger than me when you have to do what you have
Right.
to do for the community. So I made sure that I put together a curriculum that, you know, when I took it to schools or had the meetings with the DOE, they understood that this was a curriculum that could work with schools, and they actually adopted it. You know what I'm saying? So one of the first hip hop dudes to have a curriculum be, you know, adopted by the Department of Education. So big up on that. And I normally don't even
Yeah,
talk about that. I just be on
but
some
that's
shit.
real, and that's what people got to understand, that there is so much more out here. You, and
Mm-hmm.
I feel it can also be inspirational to younger cats that's trying to come up in this game, especially they get into money, and it's just some things that you can put your money towards other than cars and jewelry.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Right now, there's this brand new, I want to call it like the Renaissance movement that's going on in New York also, where you have a lot of people that's within the same age range that are basically holding each other accountable and doing incredible things. You have there's Tanya Wiedemeyer right now. She has she's a gallerist. She's opening her gallery in March, on March 3rd. I mean, since you have movements like this that are going on in New York City, it's only right that if these people are your friends, that you continue to push hard too. You know what I'm saying? Because you normally say, well, you show me a friend, and if you show me a friend, that'll let me know the type of person that you are. I make sure that I stay around a lot of
Mm.
thinkers and dreamers. You get me? As long as I'm thinkers and dreamers, I will never be stagnant, because that's just not the type of
Now tell
person
me,
I am.
how do you balance family and business? How has that worked out for you?
You make it a priority. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people think, I mean, a lot of people say that they can't do things, but anything that you're supposed to do, you're supposed to do. That just makes sense to me. So if I'm dealing with business, I'll handle my business, and then when it comes to family, I'll take time for my family, because at the end of the day, that's who I'm doing it for. So it's never I don't take time out for family. I'm working hard to make sure that when we do take time out for family, that we are
Yes,
enjoying our
yes.
family time.
You
You
know,
get
and
me?
I think it's so important that we celebrate family. It seems like we kind of gotten away from, celebrating family. It seems like the family structure, that's why I applaud you on how you working everything out. And now you said you got this curriculum going on in schools, you dropping this album. Are we going to see you on the road anytime soon or anything like that?
Yes, people are going to see me on the road, but my thing is, the promoters that have reached out to me to do shows, like, promoters have reached out to put together a tour for me for the summer. I think the thing about it with me is, where I'm at now mentally is totally different. I don't just want to step on stage and just perform for people and leave. So I'm telling these promoters that if you want me to come on the road, I need, every show that I do, I would rather like to meet with people prior to the show and do workshops, like do 2 or 3 workshops before I perform. You get me? So, people get a different experience instead of me going on stage and rhyming and singing and doing what I'm doing and leaving. Let's have those uncomfortable conversations. You know what I'm saying? First and foremost, let's all get on the same page. Any information that I have that I could share, we can actually
Right.
have those talks. You get me? Do some work on mental illness, and just have conversation with people, man. It's more so about building them up. I just don't want to take people money and be out. That's just not me. Not in this day and time. I can't do that. I
Now,
refuse to
now,
do that.
now, as a person who's very community oriented, what inspired you to be that way? Because like I can tell you about the community, you about family. What inspired you to even take on that?
My parents. Everybody, the majority of people in Flatbush have the same history of our parents actually leaving the West Indies. They probably migrate to England. You know what I'm saying? My parents, they migrated to England first. They met each other there and then came to New York City. So that alone, and just sitting and thinking about how scared they probably were. Like, I don't know what it is to go to a different country, you know what I'm saying, and then take to leave a country to go to another country to find yourself and go to school, then to have kids and bring them over and raise them. I don't know what that's like. You know what I'm saying? So that's more so why I'm the type of individual that I am, super community oriented, because I know that the same kids that are coming into my programs are the same, are basically parents my age, right? That have parents that have done the same thing that my parents have done. So it's only right to you know, keep up the culture and the teachings within the community, and make sure it carries on longer after.
Okay, I
Yeah.
can dig that. Now, you know, everybody's on this 50-year hip hop anniversary thing going on right now. So out of the 50 years of hip hop, what has been your biggest takeaway from it?
I'll say this: it feels good to have had a brick added to the wall in hip hop. You know what I'm saying? No one can overlook the brick that I've put in that wall. That brick doesn't represent me; it represents my family. I wouldn't have been here if it wasn't for my family. So that brick that was added, you know, it's a long time coming. Did what I had to do, fine. But you know, it's more so about hip hop 50, yes, and you know, 50 years more after this. But I would rather see, you know, I'd rather see more growth when it comes to hip hop. And you know, not saying that there's not little things that's happening that are showing growth. Like I love the fact that, you know, you're able to see teachers that used to be artists in schools now. I love the fact that you're seeing certain councilmen that used to be artists or whatever. Like hip hop has a place in everything, and even prior to having those positions, when you looked at everything around you, you were able to see hints of hip hop in it. You know, commercials. You walk in the stores, saggy pants. You know how other ethnic groups greet you. It's more so, you know, culturally, you know, it's hip hop. It's all over the place. So to be able to sit here and say, you know, hip hop has reached its 50th birthday, I just want to say one thing. I hope that the elder statesmen in the hip hop game understand that it's about spreading. It's not about how can I put it? It's
Right.
not about favoritism. Because, you know, when you look at it, you see a lot of favoritism. I want this group of people to perform, or this group of people to represent Hip Hop 50. Fuck that. It should be about people who've laid foundation. Everybody's
Yeah.
supposed to be able to represent Hip Hop 50, not just your 20 cronies that you have. You get me? That's for me, because you're seeing these small pockets all over the place where it's like, we're representing Hip Hop 50. Me and my 15 MCs that done what we done for hip hop. Hip hop wasn't about separation. So y'all not really representing you're not representing the culture if that's how you're approaching
Right.
this 50th birthday. I have a song sound, Champion Sound, where I dedicated the song strictly to DJs. I don't want any money from it. It was just strictly for the DJs, just for me to pay homage. Now you have 300 DJs all over the world that's sending me videos
Yeah.
saying thank you. You get me? So that's hip 50th. But you have people that know about what I'm doing, but they wouldn't speak about it because it wasn't something that they thought about, or I'm not part of their clique.
Mm-hmm.
You get me? So if anybody has any problem with what I just said, when you see me in person, say what you need to say.
Yeah, because you know,
It
hip
is what it
hop is all
is.
about spreading love. Like, you know, like I'm based in Northeast Ohio. You know, we love hip
Mm-hmm.
hop just like Brooklyn does.
Yes, sir.
You
Sir.
know, and it's I think you have an amazing message, and that's why I follow you on IG, because you drop real jewels, and I can tell you're being yourself. You're not putting on an act.
Nah, that was never me, man. That has never been me. Everybody, there's a difference between Chip Fu and Roderick, man. Everybody that know Roderick, they know. You know what I'm saying? Chip, that's just an extension of who I am as a person. But if you know me, man. I'm not that person. I just don't take things likely if it's
Right.
negative. You get me? You know, my response is my responsibility. How I respond to you, I have to take responsibility on how you react, because I said something that made you react a particular way. So that's why the majority of the time I just keep quiet. I don't say anything. I just watch and observe. So moving forward and moving through this game, I've done that for years, but I think I'm at a point in time where I need to open my mouth and let a lot of people know how I'm feeling. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, there's certain new codes, you know, all these new codes don't match
Right.
the real codes. You get me? There's a lot of codes where certain men say, well, you can't say that. Now you're supposed to speak your mind. You know what I'm saying? If I'm an extension of God, I'm supposed to speak my mind. You know what I'm saying? As long as I'm not ruffling any feathers of being disrespectful. And I'm definitely not a disrespectful person if you know me. I just feel that, you know, when it comes to this hip hop thing now and the business aspect of it, include everybody. Include everybody. Okay, that's what they're doing over there. Let me go and help him and bring some attention to this
Yeah.
or whatever he's doing. You get me? Everybody would say what they want to say and say, we need for you to be a part of certain things. But I understand I cast a bright light. I do understand I cast a bright light because, you know, they see God in me. So if you see God in me, you're going to scour and run. So I understand that there's
Right.
certain people that I can't work with. You get me? So my circle will be small, and I'm fine with my circle being small because I understand that whoever's in my circle, they understand who I represent and how I move. But the industry itself is like, yo, that dude, you know, he's a different breed. You know, he ain't really trying to. It's not like I don't want to play by the rules. I've been playing by the rules, and I saw how these rules were made to just ill-treat my people, and I'm
I
not
feel,
comfortable with that.
I feel
That's
that. Especially
it.
it. We need to hear you. We need to hear you. We need
Yeah.
to hear you. We need to hear your music. We need to see you killing it, man.
Oh yeah. So I'm putting the best foot forward and making sure that I kill everything, and I think that that's what it is. Everybody know that that we're gonna kill everything from reggae to Afrobeat to hip hop, and I'm just having fun with it right now. And again, I'm not one of them radical beings that I'm this and that. I'm just not that person. I just feel that in these days and times, people need to hear particular things to help move them on different levels, man. The energy, when it comes to energy, the level of energy is low right now. The energy is there's nothing that's actually picking them up right now. They don't have certain things that have the proper messages, nothing. You know, you have a few records out there, I'll give them that, but I'm just saying the energy is low, and right now we need to just tap in and be honest with each other, show a lot more love to each other because it's needed, and all this, pause, that, because you tell another person you love them or whatever. Oh, listen, you don't know, tomorrow's not promised. You get me? So if you have something on your heart that you want to share with somebody or information that you want to give to a person, then I just believe you should just give it. It shouldn't be about there's laws put in place that you can't be, you know, you can't basically share.
Right, right. You know, and I think that's just the beauty of it. Like, let's share information because
Mhm.
information, well,
Mhm.
that's how we can all build.
Right.
You know, and where can we find your music, or like for people who want to help you out with your programs, where can they find you?
Facebook, at Chip Fu. You can find me on Twitter. And I mean, right then and there, I'll actually be leaving hints to when the music will actually be dropping. I'm going to film a video next week for the Champion Sound, just trying to make sure I get all the DJs in it because it's not about me. It's me just paying homage. You're going to see more DJs than anything, and you just probably see me in the middle just kicking lyrics. You get me? But it's more so about them. And yeah, I mean, whatever it is that needs to be done, people could reach me there. You could email me because the emails are attached to the Instagrams. But other than that, man, you know, it's gonna be a beautiful year. February 3rd. I need everybody to tune in to NBA TV. You'll see Shaq the Rookie Year. That's an incredible an incredible documentary that was put together. I need for people to just tune in and check that out. And just moving forward, it's more so about music and teaching. You get me?
Yeah.
And that's basically it, man. Just spreading positivity and love. You get me?
That's what's up. Man, I want to thank you for joining me on Conversations. I know you're busy, man. You got a million things to do. But like I said, thank you so much for taking your time out to chop it up with me, my brother.
No, thank you for reaching out to me. I know that I changed the time and everything because I had to run and do some stuff. And I just want to say, just you have your platform and you're doing what you're doing, but just make sure that you keep your platform your platform.
Absolutely. That's the goal.
That's the goal, brother. You keep your platform your platform, and you make sure that this platform that you have stays as positive as it is, because we need that. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes when people come home, just to tune in and see two people having a conversation is more so needed than anything else. So I just want to give you your props for starting your platform, and I pray that it continues to stay the same way, man. Just a room for positivity. You get me?
Thank you so much, my brother. And I received that. And like I said, it's been great talking to you.
Yes, sir. You have a good one.
You too. Thank you.
Take care, bro. Everybody that's on here, man, shout out to everybody that joined the live. Much love to y'all, man. Y'all take care, man. Speak to us soon. Peace.
There it is. Make sure you follow me, almakealife.com.
Make sure
Check
you
it
follow
out.
me at Chip Fu, and we out.
Peace.
Peace.